Gold Rush Chevrolet in Auburn, California is offering GM employee pricing on every new 2013 Chevy in stock. Plus, every pre-owned vehicle will be priced to sell. Use this opportunity to grab the 2013 Chevy Silverado. That's Gold Rush Chevrolet in Auburn, California.
Welcome back to the Blitz. This week, the Placer Hillmen host the Colfax Falcons and have the opportunity to clinch at least a share of the Pioneer Valley League title at home. Later on in the show, we'll catch up with Falcons coach Tony Martello and Placer's Joey Montoya. But we'll start this week's show off at Del Oro High School chatting with Coach Casey Taylor about the Golden Eagles SFL contest at winless Nevada Union. Casey, last week, Golden Eagles used a last-second field goal by Mason Humes to beat Granite Bay. How big is that kick in terms of the Sierra Foothill League standings?
Well, it's huge. I mean, it kept us undefeated in league and kept us in the hunt to be league champs. We had 2 games left. Got Nevada Union this week and Rockland next. Got to win those 2 to win it all, but obviously a huge kick for us. Real proud of Mason stepping up there after 3 timeouts trying to freeze him and making it. Nice snap, nice hold, and great kick. We felt that game. We kind of were control there late in the third quarter, and we let him get back in it. Credit to Granite Bay making some plays, and just proud of our defense getting us a stop, getting the ball back to offense, and giving us an opportunity to go down there and set up that field goal. And let Mason execute. It was great, big kick.
Now you guys got Nevada Union this week. They're 0-8, but they did put up 42 points last week on the board. How important is it to, take care of business this week?
Oh, there's no doubt. We want to get off to a good start. Obviously, they had a tough year, but last week, showed a glimpse that they haven't quit, and they're still grinding up there. They, like I said, scored 42 points. I heard they got 3 linemen coming back from grades, so they're going to be fired up. I think it's senior night up there, and it's just a tough place to play. We're real worried about being complacent, and we got to understand that Nevada Union's we got to treat them just like every other team, and we got to go up there and get a win. So I think the key for us this week is being focused, going up there and having our game plan, not having any letdowns, and just really playing to the caliber we're capable of playing, and get a win and set up a big game with Rockland next week.
How closely are you guys going to be following that Rockland-Roseville game?
We're worried about ourselves. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way if they win or lose. We'll be playing for the title the next week, so I'm not really worried about that. We're more concerned with just this week, I think. And, traveling up there, it's a good bus ride up there. It's going to be cold, and we just, like I said, we just really got to focus in on not getting caught up on the records, but getting caught up on executing our offense and defense. We've done a great job offensively taking care of the football, and we've been playing very physical on defense. Special teams were outstanding last week, so we just got to continue to get better this week in practice and, go up there and get a W.
All right, anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
No, just looking forward to a good week up there and, going from there.
Out in Colfax, the 7-1 Falcons are preparing for the Pioneer Valley League leading Hillmen. We caught up with Coach Tony Martello to talk about this week's game and how his Falcons are doing this year. Tony, the Colfax Falcons head into Placer Week with a 7-1 record. Last year, you guys went 4-6. What has been the difference to turn it around this year?
Well, the difference between last year and this is simply just maturity. I mean, we've got a group of kids that have played a season, and they're it's a year later, and they're making much less mistakes. They're a little bit stronger, a little faster, just a little bit more efficient in what we're doing, Matt.
And last 4 weeks, Tim Rollins has came back. He's got 428 rushing yards. How has he helped the offense?
Oh, Timmy's a shot in the arm. Timmy is a good running back. He has speed, agility. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He's a great blocker. What we've had to do before he came on is we've used our wide receivers as running backs. So I think everybody's happy. I think the wide receivers are happy. I think Timmy's happy. I'm certainly happy. And so he's a shot in the arm for us.
On the defensive side of the ball, Jake Medeiros has been making a lot of plays. Talk about his game.
Jake Medeiros is, coaches often talk about a player's coach. Well, and they say sometimes it's misused, overused. Jake is a player's coach. He plays the game, but he also coaches the other players. He basically runs our defensive film room. He knows our opponents inside and out. He can tell you anything about what any opponent's going to do on any down, in any formation, any shift, any motion. He's a brilliant young man. He truly is.
And you guys got the Hillmen this week, a big PVL game. How do they look on tape?
Oh man, they've I know that they had a rough shot early on. I haven't seen any of those games. I just saw the latter 2, and they're they're good. They've done a great job. Their offensive line has you know, it's I think it's better than it was last year. They come off the ball, they drive their feet, they roll their hips. Their defense, it seems like they're getting better. They certainly have in the last 2 weeks. So you know, Placer is a school that's over twice our size, and our kids know that, we know that, and it's just gonna be a fun week for us.
In the last 3 games, they've jumped out to quick 14-0 leads. How important is it to try to slow them down in the first quarter?
You know, there's 48 minutes of football, and football games are played in different ways and different rhythms with different momentums, and you know, that might be a factor. You know, when the final second ticks off, and it may not be. You know, we'll see. So we'll see how it plays out. They are definitely explosive, and I don't know how to answer that question.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
No, it's just going to be a fun week, and I hope the community comes out and supports us and supports them, and both football programs, one-horse towns, and it's going to be an exciting Friday night, Placer High School.
Over at Placer High School, Hillman coach Joey Montoya told us that his team is the underdog this week because Colfax has a better record overall. We also got a chance to catch up with Placer sophomore Michael Downen, who will be playing in his first Placer-Colfax varsity game. Joey, first half of the PVL gauntlet is over. The Hillmen are 3-0. How'd the first half go?
Oh, we're happy with, obviously, how we performed in the first half. You know that in this league, you know, it doesn't get any easier. It just gets more difficult. And so we've got the 2 teams that were favored to win the league title coming up before the preseason, Colfax and Center. And so we've got our hands full this Friday, and it should be a heck of a battle. Colfax is
7-1, and they were 4-6 last year. What have they been able to do this year to kind of turn it around?
Well, they have more, you know, most of those kids are back. They're very junior heavy last year. You know, they're executing at a high level. Obviously, offensively, Michael Wilson and their offense, you know, Brian at receiver and, you know, Rollins at running back, they're executing at a high level. Defensively, you know, they play extremely hard. They run a bunch of different things. They're blitzing a ton. You know, they've got Mario and Duros and some other playmakers over there. And so they're playing great football. And, you know, it's a typical Colfax team. They play extremely hard. They're extremely well coached. And, you know, it should be a heck of a game.
Watching tape, do you notice that Michael Wilson has kind of improved his game since last year?
Well, he's always been a great quarterback. Like I've said before, he's probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen. And you know, anytime you have a year to improve, there's no doubt you're going to see drastic improvement. You know, their screen game is great. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. And so, you know, we are definitely the underdogs this Friday night. You know, it should be a great battle. You know, we were picked to finish 5th this year in the PBL. Luckily, we won't do that, but we're also playing the teams that were picked to finish 1st or 2nd. And so we've got our hands full, and it should be a great game.
Last week, you got to play the first game under the new lights. Looking back, how was that experience?
It was a great experience. The lights looked great. It was fun to watch film this week and actually see the players. You know, the pictures look better in the journal, and so I know you guys were happy. But it's great to be at our home stadium. Luckily, we're at our place this Friday night for senior night, and it should be a great place to watch the game.
Looking back at that tape, you probably saw a lot of Michael Downen. He seemed to be in the backfield all night. How impressive was that, 13-tackle game, 1 tackle for loss, 1.5 sacks for a sophomore at the varsity level?
Very impressive. He's a sophomore. He's starting both ways for us. With him, it's just every week he's only going to get better and better, being a 15-year-old sophomore. And he's been a stud for us all year. And he's starting to play like not only a varsity football player, but a very good varsity football player. So the future's obviously bright with him and for our program, and we're proud of him.
All right, anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
It's great to be a Hillman.
Michael, you're the only sophomore on the Placer varsity team. This is your first Colfax game at the varsity level. You looking forward to this one?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good game. We're all preparing. We're getting good again. We're making sure we get those pass rush moves down, and I think our secondary is ready for it, and I think we're going to be able to shut them down pretty well.
How important is it to get a good pass rush for your defensive line this week, going up against a passing attack with Michael Wilson under center?
I think it's really big because our secondary is doing a really good job of making sure we get the jams, making sure we can, make sure we help them and make their jobs easier where they don't have to do, cover it for so long. If we can get pressure on them, we can change the game a little bit.
Last week, you had 13 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss. What was going good for you?
I was just reading my keys. It was just a good week. Kept my feet moving, trusted everything Saban told me to do, and it all turned out good.
All right, it's time to take a look at this week's slate. In Auburn, the Placer-Hillman will entertain the Colfax Falcons. Big crowd is expected to be on hand. It's senior night for the Hillman, and Placer can clinch a share of the Pioneer Valley League title with a win. Placer's been running all over its Pioneer Valley League opponents, but if anybody wants to stop the Hillman, it certainly would be the Falcons. In Grass Valley, the Del Oro Golden Eagles will take on the winless Miners. Win or lose, Del Oro will be playing next week against Rockland in a game where at least a share of the Sierra Foothill League title will be on the line. At Highlands High School, the Forest Hill Wildfires will take on winless Valley Christian. Forest Hill has a chance to lock up a home playoff game with a win. And out in Lincoln, the Bear River Bruins need a win or they will not be going to a playoff game. That's all the time we have this week on the Blitz. For more on Placer County football, pick up a print edition copy of the Auburn Journal.